Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be changing the spark plugs and ignition coils on my 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I ordered the spark plugs. We have Denso Platinum spark plugs. It also came with ignition coils. So we're just going to be changing out the 6 of those on my Jeep today. Coming under the engine bay, the first thing we're going to have to do is remove this air intake, and there's one clamp here. There's 2 torque screws back there, which you can't really see, but I'll show you when I go to take them out. And then there's 1 screw back here that we have to remove, or 1 clamp from the throttle body. And then once that's all removed, you'll be able to see all 6 ignition coils. I wanted to go ahead and show you what all tools we will need for this. So we need a flathead to remove those clamps that are on the air intake. We'll also need this one is a T25 Torx. I think technically it's a T30, but a 25 is removing mine, so I'm gonna use that. Obviously we'll need a torque wrench with a 5/8 for the spark plugs, and then this 10 millimeter is for the ignition coils. This one is very hard for the camera to get in there and see, but once you actually look at it from weird angles, you can see it. Alright, so we loosened my screws, and this one is broken, so I don't actually have to take it all the way out. And once you get the air intake removed, you can see the throttle body right there. And then you have, mine is a 3.7 V6, so I have 3 on each side. Clearly see all of them there. It looks like the oil dipstick, you might have to maneuver it a little bit, but we shouldn't have an issue getting them out. Alright, so once you get all those bolts off of the ignition coils, they just push right here on the end, and it just pops off. And then you can pull the ignition. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pull all of these out, and then we'll jump into the next step here. Okay, now that we have the ignition coils out, we can use our 5/8 to take out the spark plugs. Alright guys, these spark plugs look a little rough. And we're comparing the new ones versus the old ones, so I would definitely say it was due for a change. This one's a little hard to reach. You don't have as much wiggle room back here. Alright, once you remove all the old spark plugs, you want to make sure your new spark plugs are gapped 2.04. This one needs a little bit more. When you're installing the new spark plugs, you want to start with hand tightening them so you make sure that you don't cross thread them. So I'm gonna go backwards. Okay. And then I'll go back at the end and torque them all down. I got my dielectric grease here to put into the ignition coil. Don't put too much or else it's not going to stay married to your spark plug. So you just need a tiny, tiny bit inside of there. Alright, now we're just installing the new ignition coils. These, you kind of have to push them hard. Alright, I finally got that one all the way in. Time to do the rest. Alright, coils are in. We're just gonna go in with these bolts and do reverse of what we did when we took them off. Bolts on, so now we just have to clip the wires back in. So, and then you just have to put the air box back on, reverse of how you took it off. Okay, we installed all the coils and everything is back on, so we're gonna start it up and make sure there's no misfires. Alright, the car's warmed up and been running for a few minutes, so we are just gonna go take it on a little test drive. And just make sure that everything is working good. That's how you change the spark plugs on my 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee 3.7 V6. I just took it for a quick test drive and everything seems to be working perfectly. No rough idle, no misfires, nothing. So I was having a bit of a rough idle before, which is why I wanted to do this before we go on a road trip. But I think that this has fixed that issue and everything is running smoothly. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel to see what else we have planned and coming up. And let me know down in the comments if there's a specific modification or video you guys would like to see on this platform, and I'll be happy to see what I can do for it. So make sure you guys stay tuned, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe. See you in the next one.